Good evening. Straight ahead on First News, two fishermen who were rescued at sea share their amazing tale. That's coming up next.
Guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show stay at the all-suite Omni Hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile. Closed captioning provided by the maker of the following product.
Nizoral AD. It's how people with dandruff become people with beautiful hair. Nizoral AD. The freedom will go to your head.
From WECT, Wilmington, where news comes first. This is News 6, First News.
For 40 hours, they clung to their capsized boat, and today, two fishermen rescued at sea give thanks and talk about their ordeal. Good evening, I'm Frances Weller. Our top story tonight at 5, the rescue of two fishermen. Today, both men are on dry ground. They were rescued last night after a half-day search by the Coast Guard. The men left the North Carolina Wildlife Resources boat ramp in Southport Sunday morning. When they weren't back to check out of the Oak Island Inn yesterday, the motel manager there called the Coast Guard. Well, today the fishermen are recovering from a long 2 days at sea and talking about what happened. News 6's Liza Headley has more on tonight's top story. Liza?
Fran, the two fishermen are thankful to be alive today. The Coast Guard found them just before midnight last night. The 19-foot fishing boat off of this trailer had capsized and the men were hanging on. Carl Kennedy and Michael Peeler of Randleman, North Carolina, say a few hours into their trip on Sunday, two bilge pumps failed them. The boat filled with water and tipped over. 36 hours later, they were in 10 to 14 feet seas because of the storm once Hurricane Gordon. But both men said they didn't expect the weather to affect their trip.
It wouldn't have changed anything because we had time to get out there and get in a day's fishing and get back. And that's what we had planned. We had planned coming, taking a shower and going home Sunday evening.
Now, both of the men said that they will go out again, but next time they'll be sure to track their trip. If the hotel manager had not expected them in, no one would have expected them until today. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Liza Headley, News 6.
All right, thanks, Liza. Now, the Coast Guard searched for the fishermen for 11 hours. It used a lot of resources to find them. The Coast Guard used a C-130 plane, a Jayhawk and Dawson helicopter, a 41-foot cruiser, and 2 inflatable boats. It puts the total cost of the rescue mission at over $82,000. Wilmington police continue to search for a driver who hit another car and ran from the scene early this morning. According to police, a truck hit a car and then flipped over into a ditch. The driver ran from the scene of the accident before police could talk to him. A passenger in the car is in critical condition at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Also overnight, one Wilmington car dealership was the target of someone with a BB gun. According to a police report, someone used a BB gun to shoot the windows out of 6 new trucks at Cape Fear Ford. The dealer estimates the damage to be at around $2,000. Police aren't sure who did it. Tonight, the water off Carolina and Curie beaches is back open to swimmers. The beach is closed to the water for a full week because of rough conditions. 3 swimmers drowned there last week. Rip currents were a problem because of recent storms. Today, both towns are allowing swimmers in the water, but they warn everyone to please be extra careful. Speaking of, let's go now to Chief Meteorologist George Elliott, who is in the Skywatch Weather Storm Center for the first forecast. You know about those rip currents, George?
Yeah, we know all too well, and it looks as though we might be facing something similar to that again in the not-too-distant future because we have more tropical entities out there which may be affecting our weather over the next few days. We'll check into that in just a few minutes. For right now, and tomorrow for that matter, no big issue. Weather-wise, a fair sky tonight. Mostly clear, actually, low around 64, light southwest wind. Might get a little patchy fog out there as well. Warming up next couple of days, but as I mentioned, a couple of major issues in the tropics which may impact our weather. We'll look at those in a few minutes there, Fran.
All right, thanks, George. Well, Gordon is gone tonight. The rain from the storm is affecting fishing. There's a shell fishing ban in some areas. The Division of Marine Fisheries says pollution is bad in the Intercoastal Waterway from Southport to South Carolina, Emerald Isle High Bridge to Snow's Cut, and the Atlantic Beach High Rise Bridge. No one is allowed to take or sell clams, oysters, or mussels from those polluted areas. Investigators are still trying to figure out what happened to a small plane hijacked from Cuba today. The Russian-built seaplane eventually crashed off the Florida Keys. At least 14 people were on board. Now 10 passengers have been found, 9 of those alive. Investigators still aren't sure who hijacked the plane or why it crashed. We'll bring you the latest on News 6 Nightcast. Did you know that something as small as a screw could actually cause a plane to crash? Investigators say that's exactly what caused the crash of the Concorde in July. A Continental DC-10 lost a piece of metal from its right wing. Investigators say that metal was sucked into the Concorde's engine, causing it to crash. At Wilmington International Airport, officials go over the runway 3 times a day to make sure what happened in France doesn't happen here. News 6's Dave Bondi spent the day at the airport and joins us now live in the Satellite Center with more on runway safety. Dave?
Well, Fran, all it takes is something as small as a little plastic bag to get sucked into an engine and cause the plane to crash. And that's why officials at ILM say they make sure the runway is as clean as your kitchen table. Now, these are just some of the items that the Chief of Airport Police, Harold Miller, says have been found on the runway. Everything from gas caps and brakes that have fallen off planes. Now, Miller says most of the items fall off the planes or are left out there by the ground crew. Now, anything on the runway can create a deadly situation. And that's why Miller says the airport makes sure the runway is clear at all times.
If it was to suck up anything metal, it would screw the engine up, and of course, then it could crash.
Now, the airport says they also have a problem with animals on the runway. Just this morning, they chased a goat from one of the runways. Reporting live from the Satellite Center, Dave Bondi, News 6.
All right, thanks, Dave. So just when do the airport police find time to clean up the runway? Miller says police drive the runway at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and finally at 7 p.m. at night to make sure it's clean of debris. Actually, that's 7:30. So far, Miller says no incidents have been reported because of debris on the runway. The New Hanover County school system says it needs more buses. Tonight, the school board will consider buying 2 more school buses for next year. Right now, there are about 170 of them run regularly in the county, plus a few spares when needed. The 2 new buses would be used for students in the English as a second language program. It's offered at 4 different locations. North Carolina's public schools receive a low grade in a new study. The John Locke Foundation gave the state's public schools a D+. The group says while the schools improved during the past decade, they still fall well below what's expected. The grade was based on test scores, graduation rates, and SAT scores. More trouble involving tires on sport utility vehicles. Another company may have problems with their tires. Continental General is recalling tires it made for thousands of Lincoln Navigators. The company says pieces of tread have come off the tires. The recall affects 40,000 1998 and 99 Lincoln Navigators. Just last month, Firestone recalled over 6 million of its tires for similar problems. Harris Teeter also announces a recall just ahead on News 6 First News. If you recently bought ice cream here, find out why. You may need to take it back.
I'm Jennifer Abney. Coming up, national statistics show the number of positions open for registered nurses in this country far exceeds the number of people in nursing school. I'll have that story just ahead in Life Watch.
And a first-of-its-kind shoe makes it to stores. See a reversible one. Coming up. You're watching News 6 First News, where news comes first.
Closed captioning of News 6 is brought to you by the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
When I have a body ache, it's just like someone put some screws right here in my back and just tighten it up and tighten it up. And then when I take a BC, it starts backing off, and the BC knocks it out.
When I have a body ache, it's excruciating pain, and it bothers you all over. I take BC. It gets right to the job. I'm straight up with you. BC works.
When I have a body ache, it feels like I've been run over by a Mack truck. BC powder just automatically goes right to the pain. There is nothing that is faster than a BC powder.
The world is a beautiful place, but not when your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated. Protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. Refresh is no ordinary eye drop. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. So get relief and protection with the #1 brand recommended by eye doctors. Refresh. It relieves and protects. And protects and protects.
Leather Emporium, the art of comfort. Traditional, modern, retro style. Formal elegance, living room comfort. Sofas, love seats, sectionals, recliners, Equinus stressless chairs. From sources near and far, all in a rainbow of colors and textures. Leather Emporium, the art of comfort. Oleander Drive, Wilmington.
Hello, I'm Frances Weller. This is Peter, and we want you to join the American Heart Walk. It's Saturday, October 28th here at Riceville Beach Park. Registration is 9 a.m. and the walk starts at 10. Join WECT and Rock 104.5 to help the